are very happy to be joined on the Milford Informer this week by two representatives from the Milford Schools. We have Christina Cody, who's the Vice President of the Milford, Massachusetts Foundation for Education. Just wrapping up about the first year of existence for that group, so welcome, happy to have you.
Thank you.
And of course, Craig Consigli, the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction and Assessment within Milford Schools. Craig, thank you very much for joining us as well.
Thanks for having us.
An important topic that we're going to get into a little bit, a big presentation coming up related to social media that you guys have collaborated on. But before we get to the details on that, Christina, I wanted to start with you. As I mentioned, about a year now of existence for the Milford, Massachusetts Foundation for Education. We were happy to have you on a little while back when you guys were first getting started. How has the organization grown now in this first year of existence?
You know, we've really come together to start putting together programs and things like that for the community and teachers as well as parents. So we're looking forward, moving forward, to start adding and providing new experiences in the community.
That's great. And Craig, from a school perspective, how has having the Milford, Massachusetts Education Foundation helped from your perspective?
I think the biggest way it's helpful for me, for us, is our collaboration with Hawk University. I like having Christina and Vinny to be able to bounce ideas off of, and really what we're going to talk about today came from ideas from them. So.
And that's really, and first of all, Hawk University, just a great name for it, but really just an opportunity for you guys to have various presentations for anywhere from parents in the community to kids, and bringing different opportunities to just learn and grow. What are some of the we'll get into the details on this one certainly, but what are some of the other programs you guys have had an opportunity to bring to the community through Hawk University?
You know, we're able to have a one-day seminar for parents, and it sort of worked in a way that we brought in different professionals in the community, and parents were able to choose which programs they want to go to. You know, there was such a wide array of things we could bring in, and so we really wanted to bring in as many as possible.
Oh, that's fantastic. And so again, this is another big one. The program is called Social Networking. What's a parent to do? And it's also going to be challenging from a school perspective, Craig. Social media just getting bigger and bigger all the time. Kids with devices in school, on social networking, outside of school. It's got to be a challenge for you guys to kind of keep up with trying to police this as best you can with all of the various dangers that come along with it.
Right. And honestly, it's a balancing act. It's what's appropriate for the student or the child in the minute. Obviously in schools we don't want students on phones, but we have to balance that with what parents want, because parents, and rightly so, should be able to get in touch with their children whenever they need to. But how do you balance that from a school perspective to a parent perspective to even what the child wants? I think in some ways having the tools, having a phone, having Chromebooks can be very helpful. It can open up a whole different world for our kids. But in other ways it can be very dangerous. And I think that's the premise of this conversation with Joni.
And so that you'll have a presenter for the event, Joni Geltman, and someone who's Christine has a lot of experience giving these presentations and sort of shedding some new insight for parents and for kids on how to kind of traverse this tricky road.
Absolutely, absolutely. Joni's presentation is definitely geared towards the parents and guardians of these children, so we want the adults to be there. But we've listened to her speak, and she shared what she's talking about, and I think it's so important for anybody who has a teen, a preteen with technology in their hand to go and listen to her speak.
Is there sort of maybe a number one concern? I guess maybe it would be easy to say bullying is something that has emerged a lot. Is that the number one concern that you guys would say that you deal with social media right now?
With social media, yes. As far as having a device, I think one of the concerns that I hear over and over again is, when's the appropriate time? When should I put a device in my child's hand? My three little ones out there, if they could have a phone right now, they would have it. But it's not appropriate. I think exposing students and children to these various devices and how to use them and kind of staging it up is the right way to go. So.
And from a parent perspective, I'm guessing, and I'm not a parent myself, but there has to be a sort of a pressure there that parents feel of not of having kids who their friends may have a device at an age that they're not comfortable with. So having a seminar like this, having a presentation like this, maybe gives parents an opportunity to voice those concerns with other parents and maybe find some common ground and get a little more comfortable with their own decisions.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and the other piece of this discussion is our presenter Joni is going to inform parents on just different apps that they can have on the phone so that they can control some of those things.
Also apps to look for that their students or their
Yeah,
children might
exactly.
have on the phone.
Yeah.
Even listening to her and talking about there are apps on phones that hide certain things. She knew all this stuff that,
Wow.
I mean, the things that she was speaking, even just in meeting her and listening to her.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I mean, that sounds like some important insight that I think everybody should have. So again, the social networking, What's a Parent to Do? It's a presentation that's taking place on January 30th. It's taking place inside the Stacy Middle School auditorium. Starts at 7 o'clock, should go until 9 o'clock. And again, presenter Joni Giltman, who has a lot of experience, a lot of insight in this area. And it's a free event, so any parents in the community are welcome to come.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's great. Again, January 30th at Stacy Middle School Auditorium from 7 to 9 o'clock, and an opportunity for Joni to go through her presentation. But as I mentioned, questions from the audience will be welcome.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it's not limited or geared towards anyone specific, although we are kind of saying middle school, high school. However, I certainly think it's appropriate for elementary parents as well.
It's certainly making its way. Younger and younger kids are getting exposed to this all the time, so certainly important to get some insight from those kids as well, and for parents of those kids as well. So again, we look forward to hearing how things go. Again, January 30th is the date for this presentation. It's a free event, so parents out there who are watching this right now, free to attend, and we certainly encourage you to check it out. It's going to be certainly a lot of valuable information being talked about during this event. Well, we thank you so much for your time, and continued success to the Milford, Massachusetts Foundation for Education and the schools as well on what's been a terrific collaboration with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Milford TV News and Sports Director Tim Coet. Make sure you check out new editions of the Milford Informer every Friday at 7:30 p.m. or during one of our 8 convenient re-air times throughout the weekend. You can also find individual news stories as well as full archived editions on our YouTube page My Milford TV. If you live in the greater Milford area and have an idea for a news story, you can tweet at us using the handle @Milford_TV, or you can contact me directly by sending an email to news@milfordtv.net.